Greetings, mortals, and welcome to Not Watching Mad Men.
So I'm a little bit late. We're a minute late. Not because I was actually late at getting to the computer, but because I had 3 minutes left in a Mad Men video, and I watched 3 minutes of it, and I had 2 minutes until stream was supposed to start. So I was literally watching it while the stream starting thing was going. We can ignore that. Anyway, interesting video. It was about how many countries there are. Let's see here. Also, it was funny because it touched on a thing that I was talking about with a friend of mine literally like 3 days ago about like the history of the Republic of China. Cool business and all that. Child next door screaming, as per usual, as we love. Minnow House or House Taro? I don't actually get the joke. I don't know. I don't get it. But also, hello, Asher Kitty and Live Forever Never. How's it going? Hopefully better for you than it is for the person next door. hopefully slightly more chill. It does sound like a yowling cat. That is true. Okay, so we're loading up tests. There has been a patch as of yesterday. I don't know if they fixed the problem that I was having, so we're going to find out. No. Whatever they fixed was a different problem. Okay, well, we can't open inventory 4 on Korgrick. Hopefully there's nothing that we need in there right now. I was keeping an eye on like the bug thing, and it looks like it's going to be a difficult problem to solve. I don't know how they're gonna do it. It seems to be tied in some way to like the stuff that's in the inventories and stuff like that. I don't know, but at any rate, what are you doing? Oh, you're just telling me that you exist. Okay, thank you, Twitch. I'm so thankful that you're doing this. So, when last we left off, we had finished finally the dungeon here in Iron Fist, which means we're done with all of the Iron Fist dungeons. And we can now start flying. Is there a way for me to enable that? I got the impression that it wasn't enabled in this like version of the thing, and they hadn't like implemented it yet. Is it an option? Oh, okay. Let's see here. We took out Snurgle. So we're gonna save under danger.
Master Nikolai Iron Fist, Prince and heir to the throne of Enroth.
I think that's in your inventory somewhere. I'm wrong.
Master Nikolai Iron Fist, Prince and heir to the throne of Enroth.
Spooky. Okay, Crusaders and Pearl of Purity. We'll have to track that down. Heroes. Okay, save the game. So we're looking for our Dragon Claw, and we're looking for the Pearl of Purity. Those are the two things. There's the Dragon Claw. And the Pearl of Purity. They're both in the same inventory. Nice.
Nikolai Iron Fist, Prince and heir to the throne of Enroth.
Oh, I thought Bella's... Oh, he's dead, is he? Okay, well, I guess I'll hold on to it. Gives no shits. No emotional response to this guy being dead. He's just like, oh, okay. Not even like, oh, that's so unfortunate. Just, oh, okay. I'll hold on to it. Okay, so we've completed that quest. Let's take a look at how we are doing on EXP. We have 17 levels of EXP.
Master Nikolai Iron
Let's see
Fist,
here.
Prince and heir to the throne of Enroth.
What month is it right now? It's November. November, is it Mire the Damned in November? I think November is Mire the Damned, right?
Master Nikolai Iron Fist, Prince and heir to the throne of Enroth.
Let's find out. You can put a beacon down right where we're standing.
Hey, look at the train.
And when we train,
Well done. Well done.
the kid
Well
should
done.
dip.
Well done. 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 Well done.
You know, I wonder how we did. I wonder how it was done. Oh, it's now December. Oh, shit. You know, for some reason, I thought that it only did 1 week at a time. Give me a second. We're gonna check the timing on this stuff. If it's November, then I'm probably gonna just reload. And we'll have to figure out some other way to get the kid to ditch. I'm trying to think of... Let's see. Oh, what happens in merge? Does it change in merge? December is Bootleg Bay? Alright. Okay. We didn't need to do anything in particular here. I didn't grab the quest for the pedestal quest, but I guess that doesn't matter because we can't do the pedestal quest until we get to the final area anyway. Hello, Nikolai. Would you believe I got lost and these nice people were taking me home? No? Okay, I guess I wouldn't either. Okay. We're going to Castle Iron Fist again. We're going to turn in the Prince.
Master Nikolai
Okay.
Iron Fist, Prince and heir to the throne of
Now then, I have 368 skill points. You know, a decent number of skill points available. And how are we going to spend all of these? Let's see here. You are one of the people who's sitting on this stuff. I should probably check. Next level gives me a 2 HP regen. Probably not worth it to invest into regen. So I'm just not going to worry about it. Let's see. How's our volume? Volume looks fine over there. I just need to turn it down on my end. Let's see. So first things first, we're going to go over to Korgrick. Korgrick is going to, of course, put a point into this. Do we want to keep putting points into bodybuilding? I feel like it's too expensive. We're not going to bother. Alright, there we go. So we're getting all these up a bit. Raging per second is 220. That don't sound right. That don't sound right at all. Was I that reliant on my buffs? I don't think I was that reliant on my buffs. Give me a second. Save this under danger. We're gonna load test again. Okay, so something. I guess we'll recast all of our buffs in a second, and then we'll take a look and see what things look like from there. Part of it is probably just the lack of HP. I did try stripping the character and then checking the bag, yes. I haven't since the patch, but, which we might as well check now. Okay. Yeah. Same issue. Alright. So. Yeah. She just holding on to these things for us, you know? It's all good. Alright. Was it danger is after I did this stuff? I think so, right? No. Oh, I only spent your points. I didn't spend everybody else's points. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. So, next on our agenda, I'm wondering if I want to get. This gives us 2 speed. I'm wondering if it's more cost effective to get everything up to 30 and then just put points into the magic skills for a while to get them up to maybe 40. The reason being that the magic skills reduce the cost of each other, and since they reduce the cost of the other magic skills, that improves the overall efficacy of each point. And this increases attack speed by 2%. I don't know how 2% and 2 speed interrelate, but that's fine. So we're gonna get everything up to 30 at the very least. Let's see what happens when we get this to 31. So this costs 31. That cost 26, I think. And that costs 11. I'm gonna pump these up a bit. Okay, we cannot get that up higher than that for now, but I think that that's probably a good idea. We'll get these up to maybe 40, and then start investing into axe plate and thinger and the thinger skills equally again. As for Kortal, I don't think Kortal needs to invest further into leather. We have a decent piece of leather now, but it still only has 52 armor on it. So I do think that this is... it's at 37 right now. I only put 1 point into it here, and we had hundreds of points available. So I was able to actually get some of the other stuff. Oh, the total regen is actually not very high. Total regen right now is only 220, which is not that good, honestly. We're obviously unbuffed, but that's not that much. So we're going to need to... We're very reliant on our buffs right now, I think. And we're going to need to become less reliant on them over time. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder how that ended up happening. Really bizarre. Inexplicable, really. Despite having the best in slot helmet. Alright, we're going to put the 1 point into light. We are going to keep... again, left with a question of whether I want to keep sword and plate in line with this. However, it's an easier decision to make here because of the fact that this gives us a lot of the same overlapping benefits that we get from putting points into axe, or putting points into plate for that matter. With her, these just increase the healing and give him like a minor damage boost, whereas this gives both damage and speed. And speed also is a critically important component of our overall healing that needs to be emphasized. And this is really the only place that we're going to get that speed. Where are we? Our current recovery time is 81, which is not terrible. Let's see. Taking the helm off fix the HP regen? I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if it's a problem or if it's just that I am expecting more than I should be. Interesting. Current damage from light increased by 7 instead of by 4. So is this actually modified on this screen by the thing? Let's see. Current heal from body is listed as 108. So it is showing the bonus from my stats, actually. Okay, that's useful to know. All right, we'll pump the magic skills as high as I could. I should have taken instead of mind. I should have done more body. Let's see here. Now we're going over to you. It's tempting to get disarm trap up to the next level, honestly, because technically speaking, I think I'm reliant on a disarm piece to be able to unlock every item. There is some stuff that I cannot currently disarm. At some point, the fact that I don't have a disarm item equipped and only have this at 9 is going to bite me in the ass when I haven't saved in 30 minutes. That's going to happen. I'm pointing that out. I'm not fixing it. I'm not putting another point into that. So, I'm just making the parameters clear as to what my expectations are. So, how is your durability? Your durability is fine, but not that crazy. But do I want to... I'm actually tempted... No, I'm going to keep investing into plate. I need the party to be as tanky as possible. Let's see. So let's do that. Okay. So now we can cast our buffs. Right. Before we do that, we are going to take this off and take a look at this. It's only 241 without it, so not that crazy. Look at the difference in HP, by the way. We take this off, it's 8444. I didn't want to take it off before we got like further into the game, honestly, but it was a good point that I should take a look and see if that would have a meaningful impact on this, like if it just gotten some sort of weird issue with it. So, we have cleared out these quests. Actually, is there more quests that we can do right now? We cannot do the End Winter and the other thing both require going to the same place. So we can't do her quest yet. Because we haven't gone to Kriegspire yet. So I feel like we can just go to Kriegspire now. I feel like that's a thing we can do. I need to talk to the council before I go to Kriegspire. You're right. I do need to go talk to the council, get the refusal, and then I have to pop back here and get the response to the refusal. Very good point. Very good point. Let's see. Okay. Okay.
Master Nikolai Iron Fist, Prince and heir to the throne of Enroth.
No space.
Sorry.
I can't carry anymore.
No room.
Okay. So we've got the cloak. Now, anything else I need to do in Kriegspire? I think we're fine now. Did we do the quests over here in Blackshire? I actually don't know that I didn't actually do the quest here, question mark? Mistakes were made.
Where
Wait, what?
is the enemy?
Wait, what? Why is this? I definitely cleared this dungeon. What is happening? Wait. What's happening? It didn't give me the reset. This is the first thing that I did when I got to Blackshire. But I don't have the map either. The map isn't filled. This is not respawned. This is not respawned. These are fresh spawns. Did I somehow complete this dungeon and then reload to a save before I had completed the dungeon? I don't think I killed any of the... I would have to go to the VOD, but I don't know how this could have happened. Before I touch this dungeon, I'm actually going to have to check the VOD. So, there's a couple things about this. The first thing is, I definitely cleared the dungeon. I know that I cleared the dungeon. So, even if on this save file, the dungeon isn't cleared, I would consider the rule having been successful. All that I lost was the actual gains that I got in the dungeon. So I made my run harder by clearing the dungeon and then not getting the rewards for clearing the dungeon. So if that's what happened, where I somehow reloaded a save that was not this... If that's how that happened, then that's fine. Because they're not respawns. And I remember killing Q. I remember finishing that last room. I've cleared this dungeon. Like, I 100%... Like, I remember having cleared this dungeon. So anyway, point being, I'm not 100% sure whether the dungeon has just respawned. I don't think I hit yes to respawn at some point, no.
I wish I knew.
But because there is the respawn mechanic, that makes me wonder if I actually cleared the dungeon and then did the thing. But checking for the horn
Won't fit. No room won't fit.
is a great idea,
I can't carry anymore.
because I'm very good at finding things in my inventory. The Horn of Ross. Because that will also tell us with some degree of certainty whether whether it's a reloading issue where I accidentally loaded a different save, or if I don't have the NPC with me. I definitely don't have the NPC because I just picked up the quest to talk to them.
Oh.
No, I mean, I talked to the person. I thought that I would have had the NPC already. I talked to them and tried to turn in the quest, and they couldn't turn in the quest, so I definitely don't have them with me. Because otherwise I'd be able to turn in the quest. Sorry, I should have been more clear about what I meant there. That's why I came down here, because I was like, oh, okay, I need to go grab the quest NPC. I didn't talk to them or something when I came in here. I feel like I probably reloaded to a save file. What just happened? Where I hadn't cleared it. I don't know how I did this to myself. But we just making our lives way more difficult than they have to be, huh? Yeah, unless it's in this inventory or I missed it, and me missing it is very high probability because I am blind. But unless one of those two things happened, I probably cleared the dungeon, and then... Do I want to get confirmation on that before I re-clear the dungeon? I don't think I need confirmation on that. We don't have the NPC. I don't think I have the Horn of Ross. I think I talked to the NPC in there. So I'm pretty sure that I accidentally reloaded to the wrong save file. I somehow just reloaded to the save file prior to going in there. That's all I can really think of. We're going to have to go with that as an assumption. So let's re-clear this dungeon. It shouldn't be terribly difficult to re-clear a dungeon that we cleared a billion years ago, right? So let's try this out. We're going to recast all of our buffs, and by recast I mean cast kind of for the first time. Oh right, I didn't turn in the axe either. I'll have to do that before I where's your thing? Oops. There's no dispellers that I have to worry about. So we have resistances, we have haste, we have regen, we do not have preservation. Okay, so we're gonna clear this dungeon. Again, because of the fact that I definitely cleared this dungeon and then reloaded the save prior to clearing the dungeon. I don't consider this to be a sequence break where like we've actually screwed up the run because of the fact that the reason that I need to do it as early as possible is for the difficulty in doing the dungeon, not because I'm supposed to have the rewards for it. So we're going to try to just clear through this, make things simple. And I believe we should have an easy enough time here now. But I'm apparently wrong. This is actually a very hard dungeon, turns out. Let's get out of here. All we're doing is resetting, because we have enough regen to reset. I think this is fine. There's no other person in range. Alright. Yeah, that other person isn't close enough to be a concern right now. Plow through these. He's still not in range. Whew. But yeah, the bosses are going to be pretty rough. And the dragon is going to be pretty rough. We could probably take down a gold dragon, right? Can we take down a... Wait, can we? I'm not entirely sure if we can clear this gold dragon, actually. So we're going to just stand in this corner. I'm not going to try to brute force this dragon because... I mean, I guess I am kind of brute forcing the dragon since it's hitting me from here, but... Okay. So that melted fast. And we can go ahead and turn the switch. Okay. So we've got a Medusa Enchantress here. Torchlight, good call. Okay. Alright. So I'm imagining that we won't have too much difficulty clearing this dungeon again. I think it'll be okay. We've taken out the gold dragon. I'm gonna check this room. We do have enemies in here. Once we've cleared this room, we're gonna go to the west side and save. That's a boss. I don't like it. Oh shit, Swapper? Ooh! Definitely don't like the sounds of that. Alright, we got up the staircase before the Swapper killed us. Now, the nice thing is that if the Swapper swaps us while we're on this thing, HP regen per second 284. I had over 500 HP regen per second, right? I'm almost positive that I had over 500. Oh, shit. Interesting. I'm gonna need to look at the patch notes. That's going to be a problem. Because that's a big... That's a big nerf. That's going to be... That's going to be hard to deal with. That's going to be really hard to deal with. Okay. So having so it looks like I have 37 points invested into regen. That's rough. So the regen spell is giving me more regen for the party than Korgrick is giving now. And that is the plus 12 item. So Korgrick's regen is now kind of inconsequential, honestly. I don't think that that's going to have a meaningful impact on party healing. Oh boy. So, ooh, that is going to be rough. That's going to be real rough. So, if Korgrick's HP regen is going to be broadly inconsequential, it's so important that I invested in as much lifesteal as I invested in. Actually, it's so important. If I hadn't invested as heavily as I have into lifesteal, basically I'd have to, my power output, like my ability to handle any encounter would have basically just been completely shot. I don't have the healing throughput to be able to handle these kinds of encounters without all the lifesteal that I have. And I have a lot of lifesteal. Every character is sitting on a lifesteal weapon, and that's going to be absolutely necessary. The lifesteal is now going to be... I'm pretty sure that the lifesteal was already the plurality of my healing. I'm pretty sure that lifesteal was the plurality of my healing already. Korgrick, I think, got basically shown up at a certain point, and it's not turned back the other direction by any stretch of the imagination. Look how weak our party is without Korgrick doing that healing. Like, look how long Korgrick is staying down for. Oh boy. Oh man. Oh, this is gonna be so rough.
We don't need this.
I'm potentially gonna need to change my whole build. These Gorgons are fairly high level enemies, and they hit hard, right? But I'm recovering so slowly. It's really funny because this is just after I finally got my build together and was starting to feel like, okay, we're gonna start coming out on top now. And my healing throughput probably just got nerfed by about 20 to 30%. Like for the entire party. Okay. Ooh, this is gonna wreck me. So, the fact that I've been investing a point into I'm hitting for 24,000 damage, and I'm healing 8% of that. So what's 24,000 times 8%? I can retool the points, but I can't retool the fact that I have a troll. So, to a very, very large degree, the troll is just an inferior knight now. Because the passive regen isn't a strong enough effect now to make up for the fact that the knight has way higher lifesteal. The knight has way... So, right now, Ashkor is almost certainly healing more effectively than Korgrik. That change to... this is a huge deficit to come back from. And this is with a, random legendary instead of a proper weapon in the main hand. Let's take a look at what our damage looks like for this dungeon right now. So, with roughly... What is it? So that's I don't know, maybe 45% more damage being dealt. That is a big... That's a big deficit to pull back from. The fact that, we have all those points in regen is obviously, a concern for Korgrik. But the greater concern for the party is that if regeneration isn't a powerful effect, and mace paralysis has been nerfed heavily, that means that we started the run with a character who can chain paralyze, so who supplies a lot of crowd control utility, and who supplies a lot of healing. And now that character is simply going to get outscaled by the knight, I think. I think that the knight is going to outscale in basically every capacity. Because, Mace Stun and Mace Paralysis are still, in theory, useful periodically. But once we start getting into the next area, everything's going to be 100 levels higher than they are right now, right? We're not getting any paralysis off on the Might Magic 7 enemies, I don't think. Because everything's just going to be too high level. So we're going to have to pair that with the absolutely enormous investment into regeneration basically giving us nothing. Let's be clear here. The body magic skill that we have right now is giving us more regeneration for the party than the regeneration skill that only gives regeneration. that is a concern, right? Like the one spell is outperforming the entire skill. That's an issue. That's an issue. Obviously, the spell doesn't stack with itself. Like, I can't have multiple people with the regeneration spell. I could have multiple people with the regeneration skill. But I'm getting hit for 10,000 damage, right? It would take 50 seconds to purge off a single hit's worth of damage, right? Like, I'm pretty sure that someone was at negative 12,000 health just now. So that means that they must have been getting hit for at least that amount of damage, right? So the amount of time that it takes to purge off this healing has already been falling. Like, the regeneration effect has been falling off relative to the importance of lifesteal for quite a while, right? Like, for quite a while, I've noticed that the regen was falling off. So to have the regen not only be falling off naturally, but also have it actually, like, have in value, not even proportional to the lifesteal, but just have in value, means that regen goes back to being, I wouldn't say like vanilla regen, but I wouldn't necessarily not say vanilla regen in terms of like actual relevance. Because, 4 HP regen per second is not very good in vanilla. But in vanilla, enemies are not hitting for the, or not, it's not per second, it's per 5 seconds, sorry. Is not good. But also in vanilla, you don't have unlimited mana to cast healing spells with. And you're probably not going to have as many. And the enemies do have the enemies are weakened and can no longer resurrect effect at the very least. So even ignoring the fact that they're obviously not resurrected enemies, we definitely weren't running into that issue. Let's see here. Yeah, I have serious concerns for how I'm going to handle things like Paradise Valley, or not Hermit's Isle, and Sweetwater. Let's see. I'm gonna need to. We're gonna need to reframe some stuff here. So I need to. I'm probably. My assumption here is that we're going to need to. I'm gonna have to deal with an entire zone full of Cuisinarts. I have. Ooh. Creekspire is gonna be rough, y'all. Creekspire is gonna be really rough. This is a concern. So we got Splitter. Gives fire immunity, apparently. That's
No space.
very important, actually.
I can't carry anymore.
So, it was mentioned
There's no
that
room.
it gives fire immunity. And that is a very big deal for me, actually. So,
Now here's something.
I'm not sure how big. Ooh, this is interesting. I'm not sure how I'm going to make usage of that. We'll see.
We could sell it.
But in a resist setup, it could be very useful. Yeah, so Splitter's primary purpose for me would be adding another immunity to the list. So there's a lot of situations where having absolute immunity to a specific element is very useful. But in addition to it just being useful generally, it has the potential to be usable in like a weird applied resistance scenario where you're doing something akin to what you're doing with the these not this legendary. Where's do you not have one? These legendaries, but with singular resists. It would most likely
No room.
be of use in the context of applying it to the vampire who's already got a damage immunity in order to basically like stack several immunities and then not have an item that oh wait, this is a trap that can't be bypassed. Is that correct or no? I guess it doesn't matter because it's still a trap. It's not an actual trap in the normal sense, but we're gonna count it as a trap. I can't open that chest. You can tell it's not a real trap because it does damage and I open it at the same time, which doesn't happen with a normal trap chest. With the normal trap chest, you have to click on it a second time to open it. Okay, so we're just going to ignore that one. This is a teleporter. We don't need to worry about it too much. I think there's a couple of chests up here. So we'll turn in this quest.
Let's leave it behind.
And
Let's leave it
I'm going to
behind.
need to figure
Let's
out...
leave it behind. We don't need this.
I'm going to need to figure out what I'm going to do to survive. Ah, man, there's going to be so many walls in my future.
We don't need this.
There's no, like...
Let's leave it behind.
I think...
We don't need this.
I think it's time to take things very seriously in terms of our item build. I think we're gonna need to really dramatically improve our build. We've made some improvements. They did good work for us in in Darkmoor, but let's not get completely crazy. Let's not get too crazy. Okay, we're still wearing the hat. Okay, the Scholar's Cap is still the best in slot item. Okay, but we're gonna need to make some build changes, but we don't need to go crazy about it. Okay. So we have improved our level up. So we have the ability to get these items improved considerably. So this is at 152. I can get up to 177. Let's use a couple of cubes on you.
My pack's full.
And that gets us up to 173. And am I going to do the same for you? Maybe. We're definitely going to use the same on you.
It won't fit.
I'm considering whether to do it on Kortal right now, because I don't know how many crafting cubes that I have. And I want to make sure that I'm doing it on the people who are going to be spending the most time actually using normal attacks before I do it on people that are going to be spending a lot of time healing. Okay, so this is... Oh shit! 2 of them is too many for that. Did they change the... Why am I saving under dungeon? Let's see. This is before I did anybody? No, I already did you. Oh, it's 159. I thought it was 153. It's 12. Okay. Not upgrading that one. Do we want to upgrade this? We kind of need to. Do we want to make this of darkness too? We might need this to just be of darkness. We need to maximize our regen. Also, the fire effect, I don't think is scaling well enough. Like the dragon isn't good enough to justify not having the increased attack speed, I think. Yeah, and we actually have a lot of might on this character anyway, so yes, let's do that. We're gonna set this up as another. Oh fuck. We need another of darkness legendary. Everything has to be of darkness. Of darkness we can rely on. They're definitely not going to nerf of darkness. That's definitely not a thing that's going to happen. I'm definitely not concerned about that happening. Why did you even bring it up? Whew, boy. So, this is the Scouring Pearl that we need. So, we can use the Scouring Pearl. And hopefully that gets the right effect. It did not. So we're going to reload for the Scouring Pearl effect. There we go. We got the right one done. And if we do the thing, it just does that. So... we're basically just continuing to do this until we get of darkness. And considering what just happened, I think we are probably going to reload for it if we don't get what we want. Because we need the effect that we want here. There's not like a... We've just taken such a huge hit. You don't think I can reload for which effects are in this long list of effects? There's got to be a way to move the RNG on such a long list, right? 65, so we need to go back to, what was it, inventory 3, is it? This doesn't matter, this one works. Did you try doing something else in between? close but no cigar. Close but no cigar. Okay, so that is
I don't know.
75. So we need a bunch of these. Let's see. Spell damage. Yeah, what I'm thinking is that there's a decent chance that whatever the RNG is right now is at a specific point, but if I
No room. No room.
if I basically do something else that moves the RNG in between, I should be able to get a new seed basically if we end up needing to. See, because reloading seems to work for that's the wrong thing. Items. Ooh, that's concern. What was the next thing after this? Did we have a thing after Sunstone? We do, right? It's this thing, I think. I hate to use them on this, but oh well, that's back where we started, which is
I don't know.
certainly something. And I don't want to have to use like actual like RNG manipulation unless absolutely necessary. So I am willing to blow through every item that I have, trying to do it naturally. Don't know what causes that thing. Sometimes the thing kind of locks up weirdly, but it recovers. So we need more of these emeralds. Whew.
I don't know.
That's no good. Useless.
Useless.
That's no good.
Okay, looks like we're gonna have to reload for this. There's nothing else I can do for this, right? Oh wait, I don't think this will change the other effect, but it could. I'm almost positive that will not. But we're gonna do this and see if it drain HP from the target. Okay. So we're getting closer. That's similar to the effect that we need. What was the thing that I used on this? Cube. Cubes are what I'm looking for. Okay, so I need another cube. There's a cube. And yeah, we probably have everything that we need in our fourth inventory. That's what it is. Okay. Okay, so are we at 153? So it should be 165 now, I think. No. 163. So it shouldn't be as high as 177. Do we have anything else that we can do to improve this right now? The answer is no. All right, we're going to reload. So, let's see. Timer event-based seed. So, what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to take another item that we have, preferably one that has the exact same kind of seed. So this has the same kind of seed. So this is something that's useful to work with. If I advance the dialectic with something like this, that's not how those words are used. But if I do that, then I will hopefully be able to basically get a new seed on this item. Oh shit, I didn't save after I purged it. Interesting. So we're doing things in a very different order now. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to save this under danger. We're going to use a Scouring Pearl on you. And we purged the wrong effect. We're going to reload. And this has given it its initial effect again. We will use this. And another one. And we're going to do something a little bit different here. We're going to use the crafting cubes next. We've not seen this effect. So we are definitely sitting on a different seed here than we were before. Drain hit points for the target and increase weapon speed. Okay. This seed worked. Okay. So, special enchants any equipment that has 2 base enchants. Okay. Legendary Trollish War Mace of Darkness. Nailed it. Why does it require 196 now? But I didn't use enough cubes to bring it to 196.
Jump.
Okay. This currently requires 166. It now only requires 138. The third enchant adds to the required level. Okay. So the issue is that the required level is being altered downward, and then I'm increasing the required level when I add the additional effect. So that's what it is. I thought that the required level was just like the base level for those effects. I didn't think that it would be impacted by whether the effect is active or not. Okay. So, this now requires 138. And we cannot upgrade the level of the item because that just doesn't work. So Amethyst. Did I do the ring? I did, right? Whose ring was it? Yours? Yes, this is the plus 24 to all stats. So in theory, we are working off of a different seed now than we were before. Without needing to worry about the fact that we're changing the required level of this item or whatever. So in theory, we have a different seed, though we might just have a seed that's one higher on an arbitrary list, so we might only get one different effect. We'll see. So 60s. Concerned about the fact that we keep getting these effects that I'm familiar with. But they're also, I think, the most common effects. So it's not that concerning. It's just a little bit concerning. Ba-da-ba.
I have no room.
Okay, we're gonna need a bunch of
No
these.
space.
So.
Won't fit.
I can't carry anymore.
No space. No space.
I have very significant concerns here. This looks really, really familiar, y'all. I think we might be... This looks really familiar. We might have only moved ourselves like 1 point along an array by doing the other thing, and we need to actually change either this item or another item in terms of its level. It's also possible that the level of this item is part of what's being used in the calculation, like in the seed, and that we need to that changing that changes the seed in a fundamental way that does not happen if we are editing a different item. Don't know why my inventory's getting locked up the way that it is, but I have concerns about it. Alright. We're probably...
Jump.
I think that we're probably not getting there this time. Okay, we're going to reload this back. We're going to reload all the way to test, since I don't think that using that item did what I wanted it to do. So... Ugh. We're not going to be able to edit this item successfully, most likely. So what do we need to do for Hermit's Isle? Hermit's Isle, we're going to have to deal with predominantly air damage, which is good. There's not a ton of physical damage coming out in Hermit's Isle. We have mind damage, we have we have air damage as the two primary damage types. We've also got Hydras, which can do some physical damage. Devils do a lot of fire and some physical as well.
I don't know.
And this is a really garbage ring. Why are you equipping this? This is fairly decent. So, no, we don't. We're not. We're going to Kriegspire next, right? Kriegspire is the next place on our agenda. Shit. Kriegspire is a lot of physical damage. I don't have a lot of answer for physical damage. I don't have... It's kind of funny because I'm fairly sure. I'm not positive in this, but I have a suspicion that I just gained 17 levels of overall lost power. So what we're going to do is we are going to TP up to Whitecap, and we are going to start working on Kriegspire. So let's do pre-Krieg. I'm not going to worry about my itemization quite yet, because I don't... Oh, wait, no, we have one other thing to do. Let's go turn in Mire the Damned. Alright. Perfect. So, let's get out of the yellow. And we're going to cast Thinger, go to Whitecap. And from here, we can save and figure out what we're going to do from here. How are we on EXP? It looks like everybody can level up. I'm not going to because I wouldn't be able to level up high enough to get a point in regen, and we do still need to put points in regen. Let's see here. I'm gonna pop over here. We have several dungeons to clear here. One of which used to be able to dispel, but I don't know that it still can. Let's see here. In terms of buffs, we can probably cast Preservation already, right? Yes, we can. And our goal is basically just to get into melee with somebody so that we can get some of our buffs cast. Though we might just regen up. Sufficient anyway. Let's cast regen, which is critically like regen as a spell just became so much more important to my party. Alright, we're gonna clear this. I also should cast protection from magic. Okay. I don't think that we have to deal with dispels. Okay. But yeah, hopefully we're okay here. I'm a little concerned based on how hard it was to keep up with the damage output from those Gorgons. Because I don't really consider Gorgons to be that, like, damaging. They're not that crazy, I don't think. So, if we're running into that many problems with, like, healing throughput with Gorgons, I'm concerned how we're going to be able to handle things like Titans. And I'm concerned how we're going to be able to handle things like the masses of, thingers that we have to deal with here. Game is saved, and then we got into okay. Okay. We're gonna be in deep shit once we get into Might and Magic 7, I think. But on the plus side, Might and Magic 7 I don't think is gonna be as hard baseline as 6. So if 6 was the last place that we did, and all of the enemies here were gonna be level like 250 or whatever they're gonna be, that would be a really major problem for the like late game viability. But I think 7 might be just easy enough that we're gonna be okay.
No room won't fit.
So another abomination here. So we're looking for our next clutch legendary. That's one of the things that we are on the prowl for. I don't know when... That was very silly of me. These do have melee attacks, so these corners are generally speaking not that great for them. But it looks like I'm either out of range of some of these or something like that because they're not consistently attacking me here. Luckily these are fairly low level, fairly weak, and we can blow through these pretty fast, I think. I probably should have gone to one of the other dungeons first, because this is probably the easiest of the dungeons. And we'll need to go to, like, Castle Kriegspire, wherever it is, as soon as we can. Okay, crossbow. And these are just the evil eyes from 7. For whatever reason, the evil eyes from 6 aren't even on the list, so I don't know why. Okay, I'm gonna open this. Okay, opened that. You know what, we're not going to cheese these. We might use a wall to give us an easier time with them. But we won't just fully cheese them. We are in the green here, so this is a dungeon that we get into the green very quickly, which is one of the reasons why it's not a great place to come to early. Because we want to be getting... we want to be getting to a place where when we are traveling through, it'll take a while, so that we don't end up in a position where we're entering a dungeon, like, and then 3 o'clock hits and we die before we get to a save point. So I think we're going to dive the Minotaurs after this. Do I have preservation? I do. We only have it for 6 hours, so I do need to recast it, but... On the plus side, this is also a fairly short dungeon. So, in addition to clearing the entrance quickly, it's also not going to take that much time off of my time limit before 3 o'clock hits. So, it's all good. I think it's going to be fairly easy to get into the green in the Ba dungeon. because there's a lot of enemies in some of the sections of the dungeon, but I think that it's fairly easy to get to a place where it will open up. And I'm not sure how difficult with the way that the AI behaves, the ranged AI. I'm not as concerned as I normally would be about the pack of wyverns. I think in future attempts, the wyverns are going to be more of a concern.
It's worthless. We could sell it.
Are they wyverns? No, they're drakes. Whatever. The drakes will be more of a concern in the future.
I can't carry anymore. Let's leave it behind.
I'm just going to open this. We've already saved, so it's not like we're risking too much. And they can't dispel, so we're golden on that front.
Let's leave it behind.
Should be able to save over here, probably. Yep. Alright. This is going to be a fairly standard dungeon. Not too difficult. It's interesting. I don't have to hit that switch, do I? To get the diamonds. The diamonds. I've already forgotten the diamonds. Which diamonds are you talking about?
It might be useful.
The chandelier. Is that in the later chambers? Or is that something I already passed? Upstairs, alright. I will go take a look. The chandelier. I think this might have been a one-way ticket. I don't think there's a switch down here, is there? Let's see one. It's torchlight. Okay. We are not aggroing a thing over here yet. We're diving these. Okay, we're in the green again. This is empty. I don't know why I walked into that. That was kind of silly. I think this is nothing. Yes, this is nothing. And then over here, we have roughly 1 billion of these. Leecher Evil Eye. That's concerning. That's very concerning. I don't have enough HP to tank this. Luckily, it's dumb and it didn't follow me. aggro didn't drop anywhere? Interesting. Okay, they're behaving very strangely. The Leecher's in this pack! Ooh! I thought the Leecher was in the other room. Ooh. Yeah, this Leecher is a problem. I don't know if I'm going to be able to win this. I think I'm probably going to die here. Unless the Leecher isn't here yet, in which case I can regen
I can't carry anymore.
off of these. Okay. But yeah, I think we're going to be fine, at least for the rest of Might and Magic 6. I think the Cuisinarts are going to be a problem for us. I don't know how well we're going to be able to handle the Cuisinarts.
I can't carry anymore.
Those are going to be a significant issue for me.
It won't fit.
But hopefully everything else is fairly smooth.
He's toast.
Dungeon complete. Alright.
There's no room. There's no room.
That is a terrifying noise.
We could sell it.
Dragon Harpoon of Darkness. We're gonna hold on to this.
No.
It has luck and it has might on it, and it's of darkness. So,
I can't carry anymore.
and our current weapon is an artifact weapon. That we will definitely need to replace eventually. Let's see, I don't think I need this. So,
Sorry.
Won't fit.
this is a 3% power reduction at level 97. I'm not sure if I want to invest heavily into that item right now because I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it into a legendary.
No space.
So I may or may not end up using that, but that might end up being the weapon that we end up using on Ashcore. If we end up struggling later, we're already struggling with healing throughput.
We could sell it. We could sell it.
I feel like that's actually what we're going to do. So, do we have Protection for Magic active? We do. Does it work on this? I think it does. So, the Cauldron here, I don't remember what it does. Does it give you, like, intellect or something? I don't even remember what it does. I think it causes, like, eradication, but also gives you, like, a permanent stat boost.
Let's leave it
But
behind. This
Protection for Magic didn't exist in this game, so...
Let's leave it behind.
Oh, it's 50 int specifically if you're insane?
It won't fit.
Well, conveniently for me, most of my party
I can't
is.
carry
There's no
anymore.
room.
And everybody who scales with intelligence. Fuck. Everyone who scales with intelligence is currently insane. So, very convenient for me. Are you a skull pile of insanity by any chance? You say cauldron. But you're not a cauldron. I don't know. Alright, so we have cleared this dungeon and we are ready to move on to the next one. However, before I do that, I think I'm just going to equip this.
Won't fit.
it is a very minor reduction in power
I can't carry anymore.
for a very sizable improvement to our lifesteal. So 50 and if cursed. Well, I'm not that. Sad to report, no curse.
I can't carry anymore.
Sorry.
My pack's full.
Alright, so we picked up Shireel. We're saving the game again. We now have this set up. We have a 10,000 DPS setup apparently. So hopefully Ash is going to be able to start picking up some of the slack in our lifesteal. That was a pretty big self-heal. Not too shabby. And is flying restricted here? I think flying might be restricted here. So shall we? Yeah, we're gonna save this under test. I'm gonna dive these. I think the flying is restricted. I think I'm gonna fall out of the sky when I hit these. Yep. So these drakes do not count for being a powerful enough ranged attacker, or flying attacker rather, to count on the agenda. Considering how like high level this area is, honestly that makes sense. Am I permitted to use an of darkness potion? So technically speaking, I'm generally allowed to use things that cause permanent effects, and an of darkness potion would be a permanent effect, right? So I would say yes, actually. That would be allowable. So I had forgotten about those. Can I use an of darkness potion on a thing that already has the other affixes set? Because if I can, then I can just purge off the affix and replace it with of darkness. And I'll do that at some point, probably. I think that makes sense.
Can someone hear me?
I am going to borrow an Aldrea mode rule, though. And I would only be able to use the ones that I create myself. I'm probably going to die here, because I massively overestimated myself and my healing throughput. Okay. Oh, right. Before we do anything else out here, I need to do a couple of things. First things first, let's talk to you, and we can end winter. Grateful as I am for your company, get lost. I'm not grateful for your company. I'm a hermit. I want to be alone. I'm going to dive straight into the basin here, and we're gonna just dive into here, and we're going to see what happens. Who is messaging me? Give me a second. I need to okay. How do I delete this? Okay. Immolation. Ooh hoo hoo. We getting fancy now. Can I hit you from here? Nope. You can hit me from here, though. Well, that's certainly convenient for me. Okay, we're gonna go over here. We're gonna hang out at this bridge. We're going to cast Levitate so that we can walk across the bridge at will. And if too many of them come at us, we will deal with it. Or not. We might not deal with it, actually. We might just die. Okay. Oof. Okay. Trying this again. Okay, we can attack these from here. So we'll clear out some portion of this pack where they can only kind of hit us. We want to be burning through this pack quickly because we want to have the maximum amount of time in 2 separate dungeons to get access to saving. I think this is probably the most important one to clear quickly. That's good to know. That's what I figured. As soon as you brought it up, that actually just makes a lot of sense. Rather than relying on RNG to make it happen. And in addition to relying on RNG, having to use a pretty rare resource to do it. So that does mean that we can probably anytime we get a weapon, like a legendary weapon that we like, we can comfortably just swap that over to Of Darkness to make our life easier. A 100 power. I think that's probably feasible. Oh, that's very funny. I wasn't expecting to actually hit something, so I broke my. Ooh. I think we're fine here. Okay, we're gonna clear this one now. There's still another one over there. Is that the Minotaur King that I saw on my thing and then didn't see when I went down? Is it above me? Oh, and it is. That's right. Okay. Presumably it, like, came down off of the mountain and landed here. This gives you an idea, though, of how rough this next section is going to be. Luckily, we can get into a brute force fight with...
There's no room. There's no room. There's no room.
The Minotaur King bosses and win.
It won't fit.
There's no room.
It's a very good sign. That is interesting.
It might be useful.
Okay, got a shield here. Alright. So, in we go. And we're gonna slow pull the Minotaurs. So we're currently in range of the Drakes. I need to recast Preservation. That might have actually fully worn out by the time that I bothered to recast it. I think it had 6 hours while I was still in that dungeon. And then I didn't recast it while I was in there, even though I thought about it.
No room.
Ooh. Well, I might die here. I'm probably gonna die here. There's 2 Minotaur Kings, and they're just gonna blow me up. Oh boy. Okay. Oh man. Oh man. I know a decent bit of this is purely psychological. Like, I feel like I'm probably missing out on a couple hundred healing per second right now. Which is meaningful, but isn't, like, that crazy, right? Like, I'm not... And I did let it wear off. It's not that crippling as a percentage of my total healing throughput. Now, admittedly, like, the kind of healing throughput it is the worst case scenario healing. It is when people start going unconscious, when bad shit starts to go down, it's the healing that stays active. It's the most durable healing that I have. It's a critical component of my sustain overall. And I am missing that. Assuming that I'm not just wrong about how much regen I had, which is entirely possible. I might just be misremembering how much regen I used to have.
No space.
I'd have to look at the VODs to get an idea of that. But I feel like I'm missing out on like a few hundred HP regen per second. And so as I get hit and start losing these like brute force attrition battles like this, it's very demoralizing because it's like, could I have won this engage before... Was I in the 600s? Because we're at 311. So...
I'll save us.
I'm just... Okay. Ooh, boy. So if we had that much before, then it really does mean that we would be... I wish I could see how much people are healing for. I can see damage, but I can't see healing, right? Alright. Whew. Yeah, and I have 37. And I think it has accelerating returns. It also has returns that are based off of your HP, though. How much health does your troll have? What just happened? Oh, fuck. I forgot to recast Preservation. We're going to cast Preservation before we walk in the door. And anything else I need to recast? I guess we'll recast Immolation and we'll recast Torchlight. Alright, let's try this again.
It's a little dark in here.
I think the Troll race only gets Master. I think you have to be a Troll of a class to get GM.
I can't carry anymore.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Victory.
I think shamans don't have anything, do they? I don't think shamans get regen. Yeah, I don't have regeneration on my shaman, so if I'm supposed to, then I fucked up when I was looking at it.
My pack's full.
So in theory, like a troll shaman would only have expert regen. Yeah, having the regen skill on a person with baseline regen and baseline damage reduction and baseline whatchamacallit? God, what am I thinking? There was some other effect that I was thinking of, but I'm not thinking of it right now. I mean, obviously there's GM and all the magics, but there's something else. The damage reduction, the existing regen. Oh, and lifesteal.
I require
Okay.
That's good.
You know, I do already have it, but it was called for. We're doing it again. So on the plus side, if I start going down, I can always retreat here.
yes.
There's presumably things in here. I can aggro them and then beat them up through the grate. So we're gonna have to do a lot of this kind of shenanigans to be able to survive the next couple dungeons. Ba-ba-ba.
Jump.
Okay. So we've cleared this out.
Jump.
I have too much.
Spell, yes. Okay. So lets me get up to here. And I don't think there's anything in the arena until I set foot in it. So I don't know if there's any enemies in that room. I haven't looted any of the chests because I'm not going to loot them until I can save. Because I'm concerned. This is a very high level dungeon, and I'm very concerned that I'm going to set off a trap and lose all my progress. So we're going to wait until we can save so that I can open comfortably. The really sad thing is that I have a pretty, like, high amount of, like, skill in all of these things, but without any ascension, like, my healing is just way too low to put a dent into the damage value that's coming in. We have other effects that can do stuff, but like, look how much damage we're taking. This isn't a boss. This is just like a normal Minotaur King. And I think it's just the one. Let's see. Yeah, I might end up needing, because of how massively my healing throughput seems to have been weakened, I might need to invest into Ascension because there's just no other way that I'm gonna be able to heal outside of stabbing things in the face. For a while, I felt like, okay, my out-of-combat healing is in a good place, and we recover from damage pretty effectively out of combat. And now, I don't have quite as rosy a picture of my out of combat stuff. Again, though, like, part of that is psychological. So what level are these things anyway? They're level 182, which is pretty high. So these are some of, like, the highest level enemies in this section of the game. So there is that to consider. This is a fairly high level dungeon. We haven't been seeing too many bosses in here. Can I get you to go to where I like to be? Yes, I can. Okay, so... Oh. Okay.
No room, no room, no room, no room. Useless. Won't fit. That's no good.
Okay, let's see if we can get to a save here. No? It's because the ones that are in the passages, maybe? Do I need to go into these passages in order to clear a save point? I think I might. Let's see. Oh, there was green? You saw green somewhere? Where was it? There it is. Good call. Good call. I thought I was looking at this point, but I was not, apparently. Okay. Good call. So we're going to start looting everything that... Wow. That's an interesting item right there. I'll tell you what. Who should I give the horseshoes to? I think I'm going to give all the horseshoes. We're just going to give them all to Kortal.
There's no room.
My pack's full.
I think that's what we're going to do here. How important are these? Not. Okay.
No room. Won't fit.
The ones in my inventory as well. I'm going to dump all horseshoes into Kortal.
Won't fit.
Kortal has a fairly efficient usage of skill points because of the fact that each time I spend skill points, I'm then reducing the amount of skill points I need for the next thing. Like, I have a bunch of skills that are giving me a bunch of miscellaneous minor effects, as well as some larger effects that I can work with. So over here,
Let's leave it behind.
raise dead scroll. But yeah, we're gonna check all the chests that we left behind. I think I needed.
We don't need this.
Thing in.
Let's leave it behind.
Interesting. Interesting. We're gonna need to make some improvements to our belt, apparently. Since it's currently weak enough that random stuff from chests is an improvement on their own.
It might be useful.
Sorry.
There's no room.
Won't fit.
I can't
And
carry anymore.
Sorry.
this. Alright. So I'm gonna pop over here. We're gonna save the game. I forgot to hit the switch as well, so we're gonna hit the switch. Let's see. Hit the switch. Then we can go back here. We will save the game again. I don't remember what the switch is for. I think it's actually for the stuff at the beginning. Let's go back to the beginning. We'll check that. We've killed most of these. I'm gonna try to clear this. Ooh, that's concerning. Okay, we're back to this. And over here, and that does open this. That's what I thought it did. So let's take out the boss over here. Yeah, I know that much. I was just wondering if it was the door that I thought it was, or if it was a different door that I also needed. Let's see. So we are going to open the door to you. Very irritating that when I paralyzed it, I wasn't able to hit it from here anymore. Okay, toasted. Luckily, my DPS is pretty good. So I'm gonna go over here. I think I'm fine to just jump down here. So let's just jump down. And then there's a chest there. Grab the memory crystal.
Sorry.
I can't carry anymore.
And now we need to figure out where to put it. Do I want to get rid of some of my ore? I don't know that I need all this ore. I'm not gonna lie. I think the ore might have outlived its purpose about 3,000 levels ago. I could be wrong on that, but that's my impression.
Ooh.
Supreme Plate, Artifact Plate, Swift, 128 speed, 128 accuracy, and Night required. Interesting. So this is a Night-only piece. Gives me a very sizable power boost, a substantial vitality drop over what I've got on.
That's no good.
It might be useful.
Sorry.
My pack's full.
No space.
What are you wearing? You're wearing a legendary. you can't equip this, correct? Oh, can you? Are all of you considered knights for this purpose?
Let's leave it behind.
Are you considered a knight?
I wish I could.
No, you are not. Okay. No, you are not. Okay. You know, it was giving me hope. Okay, so we're gonna drop this in here, which is a moderate increase for you. It's actually a huge DPS boost for you. So we need to make the decision between all of our various things here. So I'm going to give the Supreme Plate to you just because it has Swift, and I love that. Having swiftness is cool. It also gives an okay amount of speed and accuracy, and all that jazz. This gives plus to all resistances, which is probably better suited to you for now, I think. Let's see. I'm gonna give this to
space.
you.
Sorry.
My pack's full.
And then we can take a look at this. This would be a 10% boost to power at a 10% cost of vitality. That's honestly not a bad trade, especially on a DPS character like this one.
I can't carry
Let's go
it.
for it for now. Alright. So that's set. Now we just need to figure out how to make space for Pelennor. We can get rid of this. These are all a bunch of black potions that I did not make. Fixed character age at 60. Interesting. Transcendence can only benefit if experience gained is less than 25% of base experience. You can increase your total EXP by 25%? That's a lot.
It won't fit.
It's one higher and one lower. Don't need you. Don't need you. Don't need you. Don't need you. Alright, perfect. So, we've looted that chest. Is this a teleporter? Yeah, this teleports us to here. From here, we can just drop down, open this door, and let's go back over here so we can save. Oh, we can't save from here. Interesting. Okay, we can save here. Save under dungeon. Let's see. Oh, you can't just do more than one of them? I thought it was like the total amount of experience using, you know, a dozen potions. It can't be... You know, you can't like stack it up to a value higher than that. Do they not stack with themselves? You have, it's just the highest value potion you have. Because yeah, if it's just the highest potion that you end up having, that would be substantially less interesting. Ooh boy. Oh, whoops. $53? It's pretty big hits. For this, we're going to actually recast this. Oops, I didn't have enough mana to cast it. Yeah, this is gonna take a while. There we go. And then we just burst through everything else. Yeah, mixing two potions definitely averages the power between the two. And then the catalyst overrides it, right? So if you... the thing that matters the most is the base materials you use for the potions at the very beginning, because everything else is just averaging. So if you use two of your most powerful ingredient, or not two, however many you need of your most powerful ingredient, you'll end up with a power of that level plus whatever your alchemy effect is, right? So that's what you end up with that. The nice thing about the catalyst is it doesn't matter what you use for the other ingredients. Once you get to the catalyst overrides whatever it is already with its own power. So the catalyst will allow you to basically just make a potion out of fairly shitty materials and then override the whole thing at the very end with a maximum power potion. And because the catalysts tend to be a little bit higher, in addition to saving a huge number of resources, because you're not looking at using like, 15 ingredients that are top tier. You're looking at using one top tier ingredient just to make the catalyst. In addition to that part, where it costs way less resources overall, it's also find one horseshoe in my inventory and use it. What if I already used all my horseshoes? This is a very realistic thing that could actually be the case. It's very realistic to think that I have used every horseshoe in my inventory. Whoopsies! Wait, why did I only spawn one? How did I only spawn one enemy when I walked in here? Is the spawn not working correctly or something? That is scarier than I anticipated. Gotcha. Another one of those merge nerfs. It's just one of these pets. Wow. There we go. At least that's 4 enemies, but I mean, still. Okay, that used to be a lot scarier. Okay, so we've already gone to this place, right? Yes. Let's see. Yeah, that'll happen.
I can't identify.
Look, as someone who lives in the tropics,
Useless.
I'm just hearing the sentence, "Oh, I turned off my AC 5 minutes ago and I'm sweating." That seems normal to me. It's normal for me to be like, "Oh yes, I have my AC on at max and I'm still sweating." Having 15 Minotaur Kings charge me would be
Oh.
terrifying,
Oh.
and I'm here for it,
It might be
even
useful.
though I am mostly here to be killed by it, because I feel so weak and so pathetic right now. And again, a good portion of this is just, you know, it's just psychological, but I'm telling you, my morale's low, y'all.
We could sell it.
My morale,
We could sell it.
I can't handle it. I'm just gonna aggro as many of these as I can and just see what happens. Because they're not gonna do the normal stuff. They're gonna behave much more aggressively in a way that allows me to pretty trivially deal with them. So let's make the most of that. Concerning. Okay, took out the boss. Let's see. Yeah, Southern California probably also doesn't have super optimized housing because the weather isn't consistent, right? Whereas, like, in Singapore, you know that it's going to be hot every fucking day. You never need to worry about keep retaining heat in the home. That's never a design consideration in Singapore. Whereas in California, I don't know too much about California's climate except to know that it's insane and that it can go from being really quite hot to being really quite cold within the span of 4 hours.
This is good.
So
Jump.
that's about all the limits to my knowledge about the South California, or not South, just the California climate. But I don't know how much of that is Northern California and how much of that is California generally. Because I know Northern and Southern California do have different climates. It's a pretty long state. Okay. Okay. Okie dokie. Well, we probably should have saved before we pulled these, honestly. These do have melee attacks, which means that I can get easily overwhelmed in these corners in a way that isn't likely with the drakes. Well, that's fine. It's no problem. It's not going to cause a problem here. We're all good. Let's see. We're all set.
Useless.
Yeah, it's also interesting because Singaporeans will say that energy is expensive in Singapore. And honestly, that hasn't been my experience. So I'm really not sure what that's about. One of the issues with being in like a really, really rich country surrounded by not that countries is that
Let's leave it behind.
you end up with like
We don't need this.
a lot of situations where people are like, oh, such and such is so expensive in in Singapore. It's like, I mean, only compared to Indonesia. Like, if you compare it to something comparable in Indonesia, like, I mean, sure, yeah, like that's accurate, but not like compared to like near peer nations. You know what I mean? And it can be difficult to know like which things are which things are kind of like which in terms of like when people are talking about this stuff. Preservation for 12 minutes. Wow. I had preservation when I saved and I didn't have it when I ran into the enemies. That's what I like to see. Yeah, and I mean Canada and America are like similar nations, right? But like Singapore is not similar like economically to its neighbors. Like Singapore is a extremely wealthy like city-state, and its neighbors are some of like the largest countries on earth that are desperately impoverished, right? Like they're very, very different. Like Indonesia is like the third or fourth most populous country on earth. It's like really like it doesn't look that crazy big because you just see a bunch of little islands and you're like, oh, all those little islands make up probably a decent, and that's like, oh yeah, there's like 500 million people here or something crazy like that. It's like, wait, what? It turns out the little islands add up a lot. I actually don't know how many it is. It's hundreds of millions, I think, but I don't know how many. I don't remember if it's the same size as America or not. Did I open you? I did not. Okay. So, we've cleared this dungeon. We have not gotten to the point of weakness yet. So, we're actually making pretty solid progress for now. What time is it? It's actually only 8 p.m. So, we have a ways to go before we're in, like, concerning territory. We've gained a few levels since the last time we gained levels. Some of that was just from other stuff. We need to do the Devil Stronghold, but the Devil Stronghold is very fast, so we don't need to worry about the Devil Stronghold for right now. We have the... Let's see. What is... Is that 30 cents US? What is SD? SGD is Singapore dollar. If that's what you're looking for there. SD is your city. Okay. I was very confused. I'm like, South Dakota? No, probably not. Singapore dollar is used for Singapore. That's why I was confused. Was because it's like, it's SD is a reasonable way to interpret how to type out Singapore dollars in a shorthand. Let's see here. Okay, this is a problem. You know, a little bit of a problem. I should not have tried to dive this entire pack, actually. I think that was a mistake. Are you in melee? Yes, perfect. So, we can stand on here, and we can beat up the enemies that get up to us. And this will be a fun way to fight them. Some of them are up on with us. Oh, hello, Minotaur King. You are stunned. That's great for me. Oh. This is fun. I like this. I'm glad that we dove straight in here. Let's see. Yeah, so it's not that expensive here. This is the thing, right? Like, I never know. I never know whether it's that expensive or not. To get back to what the actual purpose of what you were saying, it's not that bad. That's what I thought. Let's see. I wonder if it used to be way more expensive. Singapore has, like, an interesting history with, like, self-sufficiency issues because of their, like, fraught relationship with their neighbors. Honestly, I think it's mostly just Malaysia. Malaysia wants to take back the SI. Let's see, are shops open? I don't think so. I think it's like midnight?
There's no room.
Won't fit.
No, it's like 9 o'clock. So shops are definitely not open. Let's see. Is there a... They are in Deja. That is true. That is true. The shops in Deja are open, but we can't get to Deja from here, so that's not a thing for us right now. Do we have any other quests that we're supposed to be doing here? I do need to create a town portal, so or not, Lloyd's beacon. So we're gonna set a beacon. We might as well just replace the Iron Fist one, I guess. I guess we don't really need the Paradise Valley one at all. That one's like almost certainly never gonna get used. We have a couple more horseshoes. Around here. Oh, do we not? We do not. GG. Haste. 1 hour, 21 minutes. I am still using the wrong hat. Get my hat back. You know, I talked a big game about needing better itemization, and then I just equipped the wrong hat for 6 trillion years. Do we have this cloak somewhere? Yes. Let's get in here.
What lies ahead?
Put our cloak back on. Luckily, this should be a pretty smooth dungeon for the most part, I say, and then run into a pile of 7,000 warlocks. Which, honestly, is probably fine for the most part. I say that and then get fucking obliterated. I love how they got stuck on the tables in a way that makes my life harder instead of easier. You know, live by the table, die by the table, am I right? Alright, we're gonna open a different door so that we can fight some enemies that are gonna be a bit weaker in terms of where their positioning is. Oh, I don't need to wear it? I just need to have it in my inventory? Do I even need it in my inventory? Or is it just a flag for whether you've picked it up or not? Alright, so now we're back up to full. Let's burn through these, I guess? Alright. So we cleared this first room. This is a tunnel. We're not going in the tunnel yet. We're just going to go into all the rooms. So druids. Hydration is critical to performance.
That's no good.
Is that from an ad? What is that from? Hydration is critical to performance is a line from something. I don't know what. Okay, that's a boss. We are not going to disrespect the boss by diving it along with all of its friends. Even though the druids are probably fairly weak compared to like warlocks and stuff like that. I will disrespect this random one that's behind me, though, because I don't know for certain that it's a boss, and I doubt it is, so... If it is a boss and we're disrespecting a boss, that's fine. Okay. Now then. Look, if you don't do some stupid risks, what are you even doing with your life? You know, that's my fault. Okay. Next is, this is going to lead to another passage, I'm almost positive. We're going to go to the north side, try to clear all the passages this way. This was potentially a mistake. Okay. This is going to be a fairly easy dungeon, it looks like. And we do have...
That's no good.
This leads to this door over here. Yeah, it's much easier with everything coming to us. Though, also, right now, outside of the warlocks, I think kind of everything else can barely hurt us here. Like, we have very high resists, and sure, they're bolstered, but they're not bolstered any higher than they were when we were fighting them 50 levels ago, you know what I mean? Like, these enemies are really not that high level. They're only level 113 on these Great Druids. So, like... And the Priests of Ba are really low level. So, it certainly makes the corner plays a lot easier, but even without the corner plays, there's really just not that much DPS coming out. We'd probably need to, like, focus down the top tier druids, and sort of like burn them down as quickly as we could. That would be a priority. And then once we had done that, I honestly think we'd be pretty much fine from there. I'm wondering whether I want to jump down here right now. And I guess I just will. I'm a little concerned about the spark traps in here. Hey, how about we cast that vampire spell that makes it so the ground traps don't trigger? That'll work here, right? Oh, wait! I don't know how much damage these are going to do. Let's go ahead and cast Preservation again. I also need to keep an eye out for getting into the green, because this is, like, rotating around the edges. But I do think that we haven't cleared enough. Oh, fireballs. I forgot about the fireballs entirely. Completely forgot the fireballs. And yeah, this is like a pretty low level dungeon compared to the crystal dungeons. And I mean, we've done the hardest dungeon in the game, right? Like Darkmoor is, I'm pretty sure, the hardest dungeon. Like the fact they have Cuisinarts now, like it's unquestionably the hardest. Oh, we got into the green. We can save the game. So. We've done 3 of them? You're right, we have. We just finished the 3rd. Oh, wow. Hey, buddy. the one random acolyte. Are you the one who was here maintaining the traps? These are higher level, are they? Oh, they are higher level. Are these higher level variants on the original one? Huh.
Useless. Worthy.
Shadows golden plate. Huh.
We could sell it.
Delightful. I have 46 food. So what level are you? So these are 173. That's not that low. We got the first key. Oh. Hello, cleric. I was wondering why they were giving me so much money. It's like, this seems like a lot of money for these. We already looted some of the chests in there, right? Okay, we're fine.
Useless. Useless.
Temple Gong.
That's no good.
Okie dokie. So we're going to clear out the next portion. Over here. It's almost 3 o'clock. Okay, we are weakened. And the next 3 o'clock might give us the risk of instant death and might not. Oh no, we have to find a horseshoe in our inventory and use it? Oh no. But what if we don't have a horseshoe in our inventory? You know, I did use quite a few horseshoes. Eventually we're going to run out. We have a few more. You know, it'll be a while. Whoop. The highlighted text is so good. Hello, friends. I should rename highlight my message to make a demand.
That's no good.
The problem is that then people will start doing it who aren't like really socially in the bit, if that makes any sense. Where they'll be using it in ways that are like inappropriate and then I'll have to say no. So far I haven't, I think, ever had to say no to a highlighted message, right? Because nobody's been asking me to do something that's unrealistic. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. We're gonna stay right here for now. We might move if we end up falling behind, but can I use an hourglass on the cap? I don't think I can use any items on the cap, no. I don't think artifacts can have any of those kinds of items used on them.
Useless.
You know, it is actually kind of funny. I just realized that the Scholar's Cap giving a boost to Ascension would also make sense, because it's such a huge boost to it that it would be my presumption that you would basically be able to cast the most powerful fireball that you've ever cast in your life one time, and then you'd be completely out of mana for the rest of the day. Which feels kind of what I would expect from, like, a theoretical mage. Of like, oh yeah, I, in theory, know how to craft the most powerful spell that has ever been cast. But I never cast spells, so... like, I couldn't actually cast it. Excuse me, you expect me to cast the fireball that I've constructed? No. See, I'm a theoretical mage. Get an engineer if you want someone to actually cast it. Let's see.
It won't fit.
There's no room.
Oh wow, look at that. I actually have the right helmet equipped. That's shocking. Okay, so we're actually most of the way done with this dungeon. I was worried that this dungeon was going to take a really long time, but I'm not anticipating that this extra area is going to take too long to clear. We'll probably be able to pull them into like easy corners for the most part. Way more difficult without the pathing that they have right now. Okay. Cleared you out.
Let's leave it behind.
Wow. Just the one left. Okay. So, we're not going to jump down there. We're instead going to just lure them out into these hallways and start beating them up out here. Because I think we can. I think we could just fight them around here, which means that we'll only have to deal with, like, one of these sets at a time instead of having to deal with all of them. Everybody's immune to mana drain.
That's no good. That's no good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to picking up more legendaries.
That's no good.
Want to get my sets in order. And I think I might have overestimated how hard time I'm gonna have. I say as I'm doing a really easy low-level dungeon and was just struggling mightily against like 2 enemies of my own level. This is an adamantite priest of Ba. I need to back off, actually. Oh, we might not get a chance to, actually. Okay. Wow, it rotated all the way down. Rotated all the way down this. There we go. Alright, we should be fine. Oh, Jesus. How are you hitting me from there? What is happening? Fine. I was just too close to the wall, I think. Alright. All set. We're clearing this one. And then, once we've cleared this one...
Danger. There's some danger.
It's gonna be so wild when we, when we start fighting the, like, dragons and shit in Might and Magic 7. Which is gonna be the second that we go to Might and Magic 7, we're gonna have to fight a dragon. And it's just gonna be so funny just to see how high their damage output's gonna look. Because, like, in theory, we should now be, like, approaching the point where the, Oh, can I just not open this? No, I can't open it, I just need to. Alright. I should be starting to approach the point where, like, I'm getting very powerful for the section of the that I'm in. Because I'm about to switch to the next section and get weak again. You don't think that I can beat a dragon in a room where it's homing projectiles ensure that there's no way for me to prevent it from hitting me, and I can't disengage from the fight in any way without resetting its HP, and where it'll have, like, it'll be like 100 levels higher than me. You don't think I can beat a dragon that's 100 levels higher than me? Truly no faith. With my primary means of healing having been more than halved. and just... No. This is gonna be fine. Everything about all of this is fine. I think we'll be fine. I actually do think we're gonna be fine. With that dragon, I think we'll be fine. It's a single dragon. It's got single target attacks. It's able to hit for a lot of damage, and I can't, like, disengage or do anything else. So to a degree, it is kind of just a fight of my healing throughput versus its DPS, which we did just get a massive, you know, hit to that ratio, right? There's not that much I can do that's super clever to deal with the dragon. But with that said, it is also going to be after I finished clearing the rest of this game, and we've currently found a set of, like, legendaries that really cleanly assembles a build for 2, maybe 3 characters, right? I would say probably we have 1 character who's fully set up, and then we have 3 characters who are kind of somewhere between 50 and 60% set up. And then we have poor Korgrick, who, in addition to the fact that they've been kind of, like, getting the short end of the stick in gearing this entire game, just had their healing throughput halved. So, poor Korgrick. So, we have a lot of room for improvement, right? And that seems like, oh well, then you're not probably gonna have finished up too much by the time that you have cleared this game, right? However, while we do have a lot of improvement available to us, the total amount is we've actually got quite a lot done already. We only need a few bits and bobs will potentially pull things together really effectively. So there's that to consider, is that we are not in as bad a position as it might seem we are. So do we want to do the Ba ritual? Yeah, let's do it. 2, 3. Ba head 3 standing by. Ba head 4 is a go. And then we have to hit the one at the main area, I guess. Question mark. Probably. I have no idea why Regen was nerfed. There's been a lot of people talking about how good Regen is for, like, solos for quite a while, but most of that dialogue has been about, like, trolls as a race. Specifically, it's been specifically like, oh, well, if you make a troll insert, you know, already powerful class here, you have an incredibly powerful, like, solo. So that's been most of, like, the dialogue that I've seen, where it's like, as opposed to it being like, oh yes, the problem is the skill regen, it's mostly like, ah yes, taking a game that has races as distinct classes and mixing it with a game where races are like a very minor, like almost exclusively portrait effect, outside of like very, very small starting stat bonuses, and trying to like crossbreed the two effects leads to some wonky results, which is the way that I interpret the dialogue as people have like been discussing it. So anyway, I'm not sure why it was done. If I had to guess, I would say that somebody made like a solo troll Death Knight that was like completely impervious to harm because they were stacking GM regeneration with GM plate armor and like physical and magical percent reduction and a bunch of lifesteal and a really big HP pool. You know what I mean? Like we're talking about like stacking all of these effects together to create something really crazy. That would be my guess, but I have no idea because Malika's on vacation, so the person that I talk to about this kind of stuff, who's on, you know, on the team, is not around to pick the brain of. Let's see. Where is the other